it's Friday again, and it's time to continue on with our Winter Wonder Sampler Sew Along. We are on week 3, so I hope you're ready to continue building our snowman, because this week we are going to be working on this block here, where we're going to be making the scarf units and the border that goes on either side. So in the next video, again, I will share with you just a few hints for doing the piecing and the cutting and things that you need to be able to make that block. And now you will have the rest of Friday and the weekend to work on your block, so hopefully you'll get a chance to finish it up. And next week we'll be back to work on the Snowman Face. There you can see the Snowman Face. So we'll see you back here again next week. Hello quilt friends, welcome back to the Winter Wonder Sew Along. We are on week 3 and we are making the Snowman Belly. So that will be this unit here, and we are on page 4 of the pattern. So I just wanted to go over a couple things about the cutting. You're going to pick 2 colored print 10-inch squares to go on either side of that Snowman Belly, and you're just going to cut a rectangle that's 3 3/4 by 10 and 2 3-inch squares to mesh. So that's pretty easy to do. We're also going to have some background pieces in assorted sizes that you're going to cut from the polka dot here. So you should have another 5 pieces of that background. And then the main one that I wanted to talk a little bit about is the black plaid. So this is going to make up the scarf. And if you are using the Winter Wonder collection like I am, we have to cut carefully to get all the pieces that are shown in the quilt out of the black plaid. So I'm going to have you cut really carefully on this and wanted to just show you what it looks like. So for this step of the pattern, we need a 2 by 10 and a 2 by 8. And they need to be cut, right next to each other out of your piece without any waste, if possible. So these 2 pieces are going to go for this step. And then in the pattern, it says in parentheses and in small text to, first of all, cut carefully and then save the scraps to be used for the snowman hat on page 7. So that's this part right here. And so we need to get out of those scraps a 2 by 9, that's this piece, and a 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. So once you cut that, you see this is all we have for scraps. So that's why we have to be a little careful when we're cutting this out. And if you have just a little bit of overcut, it'll be okay, but I just wanted to show you this is the amount of wiggle room you have when you're doing that cutting. Now you can also save these scraps and use them for a couple of the other black plaid pieces. So don't throw any of that black plaid away. You can set this aside for a couple weeks from now and then just keep these 2 for the steps that we're going to do with our Snowman Belly. So I will get that next step prepared and I will be back shortly. So we are ready to move on to the sewing on our Snowman Belly section. So we're on step 6 and we're going to be working with these pieces here. So we have some 2-inch squares that we're going to be doing the folded corner technique. So again, you're going to draw your line, so on the outside edge of the line, and flip this over, make sure it meets at the corners, and then when you're done, you can trim off this outer section here that you don't need. So you're going to make sure this goes this way. It would be really easy to flip it and go the opposite way, but there is a direction on that one. Then we're going to do the same on this shorter one too, but you see that the angle is going in the opposite direction, and then this one has a little chunk sewn on the bottom. So after you do the folded corners and trim and sew this on, then you can sew it together with this piece going down the middle. Then we are going to add folded corners to these 2 pieces, and you see one is skinnier and one is wider. So just make sure you get that in the right position. And here are your folded corners. This is done with the 3-inch squares. I'm reading my pattern as I go here. So you're going to have a 3-inch square on the top and bottom corner. And you'll end up, again, trimming that bulk out from behind before you sew the next section together. And then you're going to add these pieces here and then sew them all together. And if you've been sewing an accurate 1/4 inch, it's going to measure 10 inches tall and again going to be that 19 1/2 inches wide. So that's all we have for this week. Next week we'll be back and we're going to build the Snowman Face. That is a little bit more detailed step, so there'll be some more instruction, and I will be sure to go over step by step with you the method that I use for making the nose. That's probably the hardest part, and then for making the rest of the pieces of the face. And then we'll be done building our snowman. So we'll see you back here next week.